Hi guys, my mic didn't work on this one, so I'll be narrating only the end of it today. I really want to just talk about what this sort of development was meant to be, because I feel like it got a bit off track. For instance, you have these clubs with the palm trees on top and stuff. I'm not convinced that those are really appropriate for Dutch City, but I wanted to show that I was going to have some sort of tourism area. So next episode we'll be filling in at least one of those areas I just circled, and right now I'm just showing you the tourist area I built, which is sort of reminds me of the areas that you can go to that are near hotels in any touristy city, where there's a few decent quality restaurants, maybe some offices, mostly tourist related stuff, shops, but not great shops. You know, they're all meant to suck up money, and that's more or less what this area was meant to be. But in the classic Amsterdam style, there's some hotels mixed in with residential buildings and locals, where locals used to live and stuff like that. So that is more what I was going for here. So you have a few of these weird videos, a few of these weird residential buildings and stuff, but it's all very modern out here. So this sort of reminds me, this area, of like Amstelveen or like New West in Amsterdam, that kind of place, where there's big parks which you can go and enjoy. There's hotels which are cheaper than in the centre, stuff like that. That's the kind of thing I was going for here. So right now we're just looking at the parks, the park policies. So I wasn't really sure what to do with this area. So it's all a bit of a mess, but I feel like a lot of cities have something like this, or several areas like this, where it's just a sort of a mixed use from 30 or 40 years ago. Yeah, so I don't have that much to say about this area. I just really wanted to get back into the swing of things on Malledam, and because I'm a bit lost for creativity at the moment, I really don't know where I want to take it next. I have one idea, which is to build in the following episode an area for a consulate or something. So let's have a look around quickly. Here's the tourist area. There's a McDonald's, of course. Yeah, you know, there's people dying, apparently, according to that hearse. You know, there's clubs and stuff. There's a couple nightclubs. There's restaurants. There's lots of hotels. There's shops. And apart from the course, there's lots of roads. As is the case, more or less, in every one of these areas. I built this area over here for the following episode, when people will be needing to drive from one part of the city to the other, or at least one of the following episodes. But yeah, not much more to say really. It's not a particularly interesting episode because unfortunately my mic didn't record anything, which is a bit of a bummer, but it's not too bad, you know. I just think that it's important to keep spreading out the city, and eventually we're going to get to more interesting areas. I just feel like right at the moment I'm a bit lost on creativity, on what to do. We're just looking around here, and as you can see, it's a very generic part of the city. It really is it's very average. It's what you'd expect from sort of mid-outskirts of the city. Some tall buildings, but nothing of much. It's not very interesting, really, is it? It's where you'd expect to live if you didn't have that much money, if you were getting a cheap hotel. If you wanted to go to a big park, you would probably have to go a bit out into these kind of areas. So we'll quickly traipse through the park just to finish off. There's a cafe, and I mostly use the default things, but now I'm rethinking that. And maybe we'll come back to this in a future episode, because they had the bouncy castle, the bouncy trampoline things there. It's kind of weird. There's a plaza, of course, that's in every one. I found this obelisk, which I thought was cute. It's like a war memorial. It's, you know, it's somewhere for people to come, and it brings in revenue for the city. In real life, of course, you would never force people to pay for park entry. But, you know, in the simulated world, I'm not too worried about that. I do like the view down here, though. It really is very reminiscent of some real places where you have a quite pleasant area and maybe a place where you can play chess or some other park infrastructure. Those steps are a bit big, aren't they? And then you're overlooked by one or more roads. The road up and the road down, which means that you'd really be suffering from traffic noise here. But, you know, it's nothing terrible. And it really is reminiscent of real life. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.